Welcome to another episode of Kirk's Kicking Kitchen.
Welcome back. Today I'll be dealing with two breakfast items of my own design. The Broc-Jack Scramble and something I call the Prince Omelette. Now, to show how convenient a lot of these products are, yes, in earlier episodes I had bought my Bridgeford pepperoni and my Sargento pepper jack cheese along with my mama's Parmesan oregano basil and my olive oil from California Ranch. Now, I went to a dollar store and got this nifty little spray container just so I wasn't using all my paper towels all the time, so I can grease down things. Don't have to be completely expensive. And I'll be using generic Gordon's milk and Sunny Farm eggs. Now you can get egg beaters, which I usually try to use for this so I can cut some extra calories out and make it a healthier product. To start with, in range, I spent about $15 at a gas station, you're paying for convenience, to buy a quick make meal. To try to keep it on my level instead of going to McDonald's for something. And if I were to go to McDonald's, I'd spend about $6 to $8, whereas I bought a full thing of spinach, and a full thing of broccoli in part of that $15. Now, to continue, making our product. Range about 2 to 3 eggs a person. I'm going to start with the Broc-Jack Scramble. A whisk. Now, I like to add a little bit of milk in there and give it a little fluffier appearance. I'm going to add in my Parmesan now. You don't need much. Now you can add all sorts of spices to your beginning scramble, flavoring it your way. Now, broccoli, people have different preferences on how they like their broccoli cooked. So, I'm going to cut right here close to the florets so that I can get them broken up nice and easy. Now, depending on your taste, you can either plop them on your griddle or your frying pan, depending on what you have available. I know everybody doesn't want to run out and spend anywhere between $20 to $60 on a griddle hot surface. I believe I bought this one. It's from Presto. I spent $70, I want to say, on it. I've had it for about 4 years, so I could be wrong on the prices. You can drop that down there. Give yourself a little bit of oil on there. You can let them sit there and saute to your liking, or you can just add a few into your scramble as it is. Doesn't take much. All on your own factor there. Spray my grill down, so I'm dealing with egg. Now, if I were using the broccoli on my grill, I would just pour directly right on top of it. Look at that. Just stir that around. Grab my pepper jack, put a few in there. Now, depending on how you like your eggs scrambled, this is when you're going to want to pull it off. Some people like it a little softer, so it's just barely running. Some people like it hard, so that you'd wait for it to start turning to almost a different color there. And I'm using about a 300 degrees. That way I can stir it around and keep it nice and slow cook it. Don't want too high of a degree. I think they'd probably be about a 4 to a 5 on a conventional if you're using a saute pan, frying pan. I love this thing. It's a little KitchenAid, and I can put my items there so they don't touch my counter. It keeps cleanliness. Look at that. And like I said earlier, you could use egg beaters in this. Cut out some of the calories. You could use egg whites. It really does not make a difference. Try to bring out a little bit different in the way of vegetables. I'm not a big fan of peppers and onions and mushrooms, so I go for more leafy greens like broccoli and spinach in my breakfast plates. And there you go, my original product. I have some melted pepper jack on there. I have it actually melted into that for more of a flavor when I'm biting into it. And that's my first product. Now for the next one. Well, first we got to clean our grill. While it's still hot, I can scrub off a lot of the excess right there. Grab my Vivo. And see, while it's still hot, I can get a lot of this egg back off of my grill. Saves me in cleaning. And scrubbing later on. I'm using egg again on this, so I don't have to go too extravagant on the cleaning methods. Now for my omelet. Now my Prince omelet, I use pepperoni from Bridgeford this time, spinach, mozzarella, and a little bit of Parmesan. Yet again, I start with my eggs. 1 to 2 eggs, 3 eggs. How big you want to make it, it's up to you. Love this little whisk. Got it while I was in Japan. When I was over in Japan, they had a lot of tiny little dishes. Or cooking elements, as opposed to some of the American ones that are oversized. And maybe in my future ones, I'll show you some of my tiny spatulas and other items that I cook with. A little bit of milk again. Now you could use, you don't have to put milk in this. This is just me, I like it a little bit fluffy. Sometimes I'll just skip the milk and only put in a little bit of mozzarella cheese because it's got a little bit of milk in it to begin with. My wife's not a big fan of cheese. I am. Again with my Parmesan. Mix that all in there. Now I like to mix it into the egg so that when I'm biting into my egg, I get the flavor of the egg with the spices and the treat of the inside of them. Some people want to just top it. And it's all on your own at that point. There we go. I'm making an omelet. Spread that out. Making yourself a little, kind of like a burrito wrap. Grab my pepperonis. Line my center with it. Everybody has different ways they fold their omelets. To each their own. Okay. One of those days. It's not the end of the world. Gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet, right? A little bit more Parmesan. Now, with me, with my cheese, I like to spread it throughout the whole omelet. Some people like to line it down the center. Yet again, it's your own preference. Now, when dealing with an omelet, right when it starts to cook all the way through and it's just barely soft, is when you start to flip and to play with it. As you can see, I got a little bit of raw right there. And we'll just mold it over. Other people like to flip the ends here to make a little tighter fold. And while it's still on here and it's still cooking all the way through, put a little more cheese on top. You know, a little less if you're on a diet or watching your girlish figure. And stick my last pepperoni. There we go. This is my Prince omelet. This has been another episode of Kirk's Kitchen. I hope you enjoy.